is always an option.
Well, yeah, okay, we could just have a TPK.
We
No.
were well on our way to that.
I got a 7 a.m. start tomorrow, so if we're gonna do that, can we just do it?
No, okay.
But,
Well,
Frank,
last
real
one
fast, is your 7 a.m. start Central or
No, it's Eastern, but like it's 8:30 right now to me.
yeah?
Are you out of town for business or vacation?
Business.
Yeah.
I'll be home tomorrow, like 5.
Yeah, we better get going then.
No, we can. I'm good.
All right, so welcome back, guys. The last we left, you guys had traveled recently from Sinnerton downriver west towards Thunder Run. The flow of refugees had recently slowed, and you saw indications that the enemy forces had made it up onto the plains. Recall, Thunder Run is a waterfall town, and you guys are on the high point, and then the water flows down into the jungles around the Thunder Vale, which at the north end is Pyroclasm Peak. You, after fighting several strange draconic creatures that were not dragonborn, but something else, something that either exploded or turned to stone or acid when you killed it, you met up with Brindler, a woodsman and tracker out of Thunder Run. He made some mention of being like a safari guide, because Thunder Run is also kind of a resort town, or at least it was before the war. And he seemed incredibly worried that the enemy forces had made it to this side of the mountains, because he had thought they were holding in the city. He took you to the counting house, where they had been recently overrun with these draconic forces, which you took them out. You were briefly strafed by a green dragon, and he was worried that the lighthouse in the lake, so there's a small lake in between that counting house and Thunder Run. He was worried the counting house was overrun too. And so you guys went to the counting house and had a really rough fight with a couple more draconic entities that were not yet dragonborn and not draconians, but as is it Lyrial Shram?
Yep.
Okay. As Lou explained, these were actually fiendish draconic beings. Abishai was the name given. But you managed to defeat them, however, barely defeating them by slowing the green dragon. Slow is now freed. You guys are on your last limping legs. You are there's on this small island with a small lighthouse in the middle of this lake. To the east of you is where the river comes into this lake from Sinnerton. To the west of you, you can see in the night the vague outline of Thunder Run. Not too far off across the lake. But at this point, the dragon seemed to sense something in Tomlin, and just as the dragon was getting ready to actually join the fight, Tomlin basically said he wanted to parlay, and that is where we left off. So, nighttime, you guys are all most of you are badly wounded, low on magical power. This dragon, who's recently unslowed and quite fresh, came down and alighted on these steps on the cliffside, facing Tomlin. The dragon, without its wings, would be about the size of a horse, not super bulky. Well, it's also green, so it's very kind of sinuous, maybe more serpentine than even other dragon. But with the wings, with those spread out, it makes it look much more intimidating.
And what was the dragon's name again, Jonathan? So I can write it down.
Viridia.
Got it. Okay.
I'm going to turn down the bot just a little bit. There we go. And that's where we pick up. So Viridia, it's very clear her eyes kind of rove across all of you. They focus on Tomlin. Very well then, little brother. One that walks around with stolen power. Parley then.
Look at us, you and I. We seem to have quite a lot in common, but I believe appearances seem to be the only thing. And he rolls his sleeve back down and buttons up to hide the scales. You see, you had to dispatch your minions to soften up your kill, like a mother bird, regurgitating partially digested worms to her babies. There's no honor in you killing us here. Your pride would not and should not allow it. I'm sure you're wrestling with your desire to control and manipulate, and that side of your brain is currently trying to override and win. Shouldn't. My recommendation is that you let us take leave and we meet again down the road, brother. Let us lick our wounds so that you have a chance at redemption in a fair and honorable fight. Your sense of honor should bind you, but then again, as I said, we are not the same.
So little you understand. You can't even properly gender me. My minions know. Those devils would never listen to me. So many things you do not comprehend of this situation.
Well, perhaps you can enlighten us then, Viridia.
Oh, I could. I could tell you a great many enlightening things. Perhaps you would give me your name then.
I will. I am Tomlin. Tomlin Twofoot. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Tomlin 2-Foot. What a terrible name. Are you all named 2-Foot? For I see you all have 2 feet amongst you.
Well, Boomer over there, and he points to Boomer, is of 4 feet. Quadruped.
It was a joke. I can count. I may only be a few decades older than you, but I am not an idiot.
Nor would I assume that you would be. Verdia, tell us, why are you after us? Why are you chasing us? Why are you coming in waves to try to find and track us down?
I am not doing any such thing. I am bound by promises of greater powers to guard this place and to provide air support, a task which I complained I am ill-suited for, but my words fell on deaf ears.
Now, why would you say you were ill-suited for air support? You seem to have done a fairly good job dispatching what I would only imagine to be all of the other adventurers before us.
It is beneath me. No pun intended.
And so, by taking out lowly adventurers such as us, you hope to scale your power to achieve a higher station. Is that correct?
No, you continue to make spurious assumptions. How little you understand. I do not care about you or what you do. And I have made an honest effort. So now the only question is, will I withdraw from this field of battle, safe in the knowledge that I have met my obligations? Or will I continue to slaughter you? It hardly seems worth the effort, especially when we need not be enemies.
What would such an arrangement look like then, Viridia?
Perhaps first, Tomlin, you and your 2-foot friends might tell me what you hope to accomplish here. Tell me, Tomlin, what do you and yours desire?
We are seeking answers. We've been set out on a quest to understand what it is with these special daggers that we've encountered. They have a black, somewhat oily hue to them. And it has been running roughshod all over our world.
Mm. You are not here to combat the forces of the Dragon Queen.
We're here to
You
seek
are-
answers.
You are just here to investigate the orisons?
Yes. We need to know the source of these black implements that are infesting our world, that are turning brothers against brothers, that are turning families against families, that are turning neighbors against neighbors, spreading like an addiction. It was all consuming. It took a friend of ours. And we're out
You-
seeking answers.
I am sorry for the loss of your friend. These daggers do not originate from this world. The invaders brought them with them from worlds away. Tell me, Tomlin, how familiar are you and yours with the Great Wheel?
With the Great Wheel, I am not very familiar with the Great Wheel, and Tomlin will now turn to the group. Is anyone here familiar with the Great Wheel?
Yes.
Religion checks all around.
It's on the it's the Haji symbology, right?
It is, but it doesn't originate with Al-Hajj. And if a follower of Al-Hajj would know that.
Which I am not.
Okay, Braylon, yeah, you know, the Great Wheel is a term for the cosmology for all of the outer planes combined into a Great Wheel. You know, those outer planes you guys have been exploring, and a term for the multiverse and the realms of the gods and of all of the different alignments all told together.
Yes, I'm familiar with the Great Wheel. And then I'll explain that to him.
Well, then you would know that these forces, especially these fiendish ones, do not come from Quinternia, but rather the realm of the Dragon Queen herself. Deep within her spawning pits are they birthed. The Dragon Queen has targeted this world. My mother, in her ambition, miscalculated. Though in my youth she would not listen to my counsel. I tell you this, not to help you, but because I believe we can help each other.
What is it that you seek from us?
You seem to oppose these forces. I am disgusted by them. Their slavish devotion to a goddess totally unwelcome on this world.
Tathlin Dorn kind of laughs and spits aside. Seems we're natural allies then.
Perhaps. However, I have been bound by certain promises that I must adhere to the letter of. But I have attacked you and provided the necessary support, and it is not my fault that you and yours slayed the pitiful forces that were sent over the mountains here. The way I see it, if we both agree that you were simply too mighty, then perhaps I will take my accoutrement and be on my way.
That sounds convenient for the two of us. For you, for your aims, goals, and objectives, as well as ours to continue living. I do want to revisit this alliance. How should we be in touch when we make discoveries or reach milestones in our journey?
You do not have these quite simple magics. You were powerful enough to overcome these forces. The Abishai are no tender meats.
Well, just as you have been bound by promises of greater power, we're still all growing into ours. But I'm confident that we can reach you if needed. But what are those conditions?
What's that, Steve?
What are those triggering conditions for us to initiate another parlay or perhaps a meetup?
Oh, I am sure we will meet again, Tomlin of the 2 feet. Your power calls to my family. Will bring you to us in time. Tell me, what bold thievery did you commit to come into such power?
Bold thievery. Viridia, I am not a thief. I'm a merchant. And as a merchant, we come across all manner of wares being trafficked through our networks.
What is a merchant but a thief of other mortals' labor?
Out of character, love that.
It's like, isn't this one of Pyrania's kids?
No, Pyrania is red. She is green.
Well, maybe she banged a green and then that just came out green.
I think it would come out brown. Or copper.
She said something about her mother, but you don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know what the dominant and recessive dragon traits are.
Make a Arcana check. Red and green are different species. They don't interbreed. Like the few things dragons can't breed with are other dragons of different colors.
All right, then I know that.
Whoever her mother is that she mentioned, it's not Pyrania.
In 2nd edition, that was not true. They had a bunch of color mixing.
Oh, did they? That's cool.
Yeah, so if I don't know if red green, but there were purple dragons that were red and blue.
That's cool. Makes sense. All right.
Birdie,
Anyway,
I am no thief. I am a merchant. My family is of merchants as well in the Vault Forge Guild, and I believe my power comes from a singular piece that was traded in by one Jorvrin Stoneboot, if memory recalls correctly, who was looking for a quick turn on some loot that he had found so that he could buy libations for a large gathering at the temple of Roland in Ishtalia.
Goran Stone Boot. One of the a clumsy dwarven name, if ever I heard it.
Yes, he was
He should pray that
quite
you
good
did
with
not.
morals and cash.
He should pray to his gods that you did not just sign his death warrant.
And why is that?
What else would we do with thieves?
That's fair. The same thing that we would do with these. We would cut off a hand.
You would
to
eat them?
just courage? Well, I personally wouldn't. I'm very small.
That is why you pickle them in a bog. Or perhaps hang them from a tree for a time. Let them pickle. She kind of watches you squirm for a minute.
Yeah, I really do appreciate the preservation lesson and pickling and brining lessons here. But I do think that our crew does need to be on our way. Is there anything else we can help you with?
Yes. Do you continue towards the city of Thunder Run?
Yes, that's where we are headed, I believe. Why do you ask?
Perhaps before you are slain, you could do me the favor of killing more of these outworlders, these invaders. The faster this...
who are bringing forth these weapons into our realm?
I have not had as much to worry about these orisons as you have.
Speaking of that, since you get a good view of everything from the air, you wouldn't happen to know where their portal is located, would you?
I do know. And I also know that it cannot be seen from the air. But that information is worth more than empty promises, I think.
Well, you said yourself you find these invaders disgusting. Our ultimate goal would be to close the portal entirely.
That would be acceptable. Though you have been lucky so far. Their entire jungle's worth of armies in between here and there. And the portal itself, the enclave where it is located, cannot be approached from the air. Magics hide it from such infiltrations.
Well, obviously the five of us, plus the dog, aren't going to be able to repel like all of the armies in a head-on confrontation, so we'll need to use some sort of subterfuge to gain access.
The alien.
And since you seem to be the home team here, maybe you know some ways that we might approach the portal without being detected?
Without being detected, no. That there you are on your own. but I can tell you roughly where to find it.
If we get close enough, I'll be able to find it. I came through it, and I know a spell.
Seek out the ziggurats of Katesh. You did not hear this from me. The snake men are much more devoted. They are collaborators and have, as far as I'm concerned, betrayed my mother. Who, in seeking power, will end up losing it.
Who is your mother, by the way?
I would not give you her name. I do not betray her in telling you this information. At the same time, I would not betray her by giving you that. Suffice to say that she is of this world, and I would see her miscalculations corrected. You needn't worry. She would not deign to approach the Mistveils once Piranha's reign is again secure.
Yeah, well, that's good enough, I suppose. I was just wondering how you and yours fit into the whole picture.
I would not see her beholden to the Dragon Queen, just as I would not see myself beholden to the Dragon Queen.
Well, Dragon Queen has also cost me a lot of people I care about, so I'd say we just need to get this portal shut.
And if she continues to regain a foothold on Quinternia, it will never end. She is rapacious, and apparently Quinternia is considered small and underpopulated, and an easy mark. At least, as far as the multiverse is concerned. Therefore, you should go to Thunder Run, kill as many of these forces as you can before you are inevitably slain or enslaved.
Yeah.
For if you go to Thunder Run, that is what awaits you.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a great plan. Like I said, I was hoping we could find where this portal is and close it.
As I said, deep within the jungles, in the ziggurats of Katesh. But you will need much more power and guile than you have now to reach it. And even if you could, I am not sure that you could close them.
Well, if we can bring back the information to the right people, perhaps a way to close it could be devised.
Perhaps. And I tell you this confident that my name will not come up.
Of course.
Because should it, and should this conversation ever find its way back to me via the improper sources, Tomlin Twofoot, know that I know your name and your scent, both physically and magically, and there is nowhere on this world that you can hide from my wrath, should you displease me.
I wouldn't dream of crossing you, Viridia.
Excellent. I sense you wish to be sincere, even if you are unsure.
There's nothing unsure about my intent or motive.
Very
Much
well.
like you're bound by promises of greater power, I am bound by honor.
I am... honor. Honor is an overrated fiction. There is only want and ability. But I am henceforth bound to return back over the mountains and report on these forces' destruction and the loss of their foothold east of the mountains. I intend to fully oversell your abilities and those of your companions. Do not disappoint me.
I wouldn't dream of it, as I mentioned earlier. I believe that we have our orders, you have yours. We should take leave of one another now, go our separate ways, and trust that we will execute our mission.
May you slay many of our mutual enemies. I will retrieve some of my things, but when I am through, there are a few pieces that are of no appeal to me that you may have. Stay out of the cave until I am gone, until dawn.
Is it safe for us to stay in this keep?
As safe as anywhere. To my knowledge, there are no other forces due to make the trip over the mountains. You are alone here, or at least will be once I take my leave.
Well, then we will do so. Thank you, Viridia.
Do not thank me. It is worthless. Instead, repay me through action. What is the word, the phrase some of you mortals have? Pay it forward.
Of course.
And just so you know, I have the sense of the rest of you as well.
Alma is going to nod gently to Viridia. Until we meet again.
Oh, we will. Your power will draw you back to us. You little understand the seed that you have stolen and how it has grown. It will be interesting to see what my mother does when it finally makes its way back to her. Till then, Tomlin of the 2 feet. And she's gonna flap, and then dive into the water. And those of you who listen really closely can just barely hear a little bit of shuffling after a few minutes back in this cave over here.
Alma's going to turn to everybody and kind of dust off his shoulder. Well, that was intense, guys. Gals, everybody, that was crazy.
Shuffling up to my feet just now, kind of like feeling a little less nauseous. I don't know if she was lying per se, but it doesn't sound like she's very high status amongst the other dragons.
No, I picked that up too. Being forced into air cover On minor keeps, I think that this is very much a earn your way up, but I'm at the bottom of the ladder.
I walk up and hand Laronon a skin of water and prestidigitate the puke on his feet.
Well, we can set up shop here in this quarters of our former adversaries here. Wait until dawn and then go into the cave. You heard Viridia. We have gifts waiting for us in there. We should obviously tread cautiously, but be very curious because these are gifts. What we will have, what has been taken.
Well, only one way we find out, and that's by going in.
So I guess Talman will make his way. I grabbed a whole bunch of people, my bad. Make his way up over here. I think we all still have control of Dorn.
Just mess with Stoltz.
Yeah. Shall we go inside and look around? Maybe there's clues, maybe there's treasure.
I'll walk in.
And Brindler is also still there too. Oh no, Brindler stayed back with there. Okay, yeah, you guys walk in. There is not much here. This is basically like, it looks like they already kind of turned over the place. It's basically a small cottage for a lighthouse keeper.
I think I go up to the top of the lighthouse to sleep up there and keep watch.
Search around the main building, just see if there's anything useful around here.
Okay. You guys look around. What you find is not a lot. I mean, the pantries have been raided. As you look around, you do find like everything you would need to light the lighthouse if you wanted to. That'd be a good signal to Brindler. You do find, as you're looking around, you do see over the fireplace is hanging a very large, ornate, thick bow.
Can I take it down?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little dusty. Hasn't been picked up in a while. It needs strung.
Detect magic.
Nope.
Well, maybe Laronon will want it. I think I see him out the window. Hey, you want this bow?
I'm like looking off into the sea and trying to get some fresh air. You're just popping out the window there.
Yeah, just like, hey,
It's a little tough. Everything smells like chlorine and dead fish, and there's like dead fish all around because there's a green dragon here for a while.
That's okay. Or well, they probably ate most of it, so it can't smell that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fish bones, is what you mean.
Right.
All right, I'll go ahead and take the bow out the window and kind of size it up. Does it look particularly special?
Yeah, it looks a lot like Brindler's. And what you realize, it's got an incredibly heavy draw on it.
Like how heavy?
What's your strength?
12.
Well, to properly use it, you would need a strength of 13.
Okay. Well, it's not useful to me.
Okay. But it's very ornate, though, and it looks a lot like the one that Brindler was using.
Perhaps we can put it in our bag of holding and I could hold on to this and then traffic it through the through my merchant shop half and half.
Is it a longbow or a short bow?
Is a longbow.
Just checking. Take Boomer into the lighthouse and then sniff around a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of beds. Looks like at least one person was yanked out of it, and then they just never made the bed again. Obviously, when they got here, you don't see signs of the lighthouse keeper. Looks like they've been here for at least a few days.
Decent place to take a long rest, though.
Yep. Viridia basically confirmed for you guys that they haven't managed to send any other forces on this side of the mountains. So as long as she's telling the truth and not wrong, then you guys are safe.
Yeah, I was going to put down my bedroll and all that stuff up at the top of the lighthouse. Just rest up there.
Okay. Good.
I'll take one of the beds in here.
Yeah, I'll take a
Okay.
bed.
All right, and then all right, so you guys all are gonna hunker down for a long rest, yes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna let them know. Say, I'm gonna try something new in the lighthouse. I think it's about the only room that's bigger. I think it's the only room that's big enough to hold it.
Mm-hmm.
I might need some help clearing some stuff out, but I think we can all fit in this and be a little more protected.
And FYI, there's the top of the lighthouse if you want.
I mean,
Whatever.
No, that's better.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's more than a 10-foot radius.
Well, yeah. The only thing is, in the middle of this is like the
actual
that's
lighthouse.
occupied. That's occupied by the lamp, which is not currently lit.
All right. Well, then I'll try and clear
looks
some
like
stuff
the-
out of the bottom. Yeah.
The lamp itself is probably magical. You don't see any way to light a fire or anything. You think there's probably just a way to turn it on.
Yeah, he did mention that we found, at least I found something in the house to how to turn it on. So
Mm-hmm.
seems like we should probably not advertise it until we get our long rest.
Mm-hmm.
What a shirt.
I guess is it?
The Marvel Knights.
I forget what time of day it was supposed to be.
Right. It was late night, so a long rest will take you into the early to mid morning, past dawn. Yeah, it looks like those guys thoroughly ransacked this place.
Spin to win.
All right, what were you gonna do, Braylon? No, leave that open.
I was going to cast Lehman's tiny hut.
You certainly could. Of course, that would preclude anyone from sleeping in the nice, comfy beds that are in there.
Going in.
All right. What does your hut look like?
I think
Good.
it's very similar to what's the Twilight Sanctuary, right? It kind of because I'm casting it as a ritual spell.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of comes into existence like that. It's like a bubble around, except then it just kind of solidifies and becomes opaque.
Cool. Now, does it look like an opaque bubble, or does it look like something else?
It's like a tent or like a yurt or.
It could be like a tent. You've heard of like every caster is different. Like one caster, you heard it looked like a Stonehenge. Another one looked like a gazebo made out of bones. Just saying yours could be like vines or bushes or something, or if you just want it to be like a Twilight Dome, that's cool too.
Well, because it you can't like see much of it from the outside, right? I get the yeah, it's an emanation. It's my first time casting it. It's just gonna look like a little mini version of the Twilight Sanctuary for now.
That's cool. No, that's totally appropriate. Okay, cool. So yeah, okay, there's that. So you guys can put bedrolls out on the stone floor. It is nice and comfy and dry. A little hard on the flagstone floor, but there's supplies that there's some food that they haven't eaten yet or ruined that you guys can avail yourselves of if you want as well.
Ritually
Some
cast an alarm spell too at the door of the tower, just in case.
okay. You are not bothered throughout your long rest. You guys feel much better now. Okay. In the morning, does anyone go and check the dragon's lair?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go inside. The lair itself kind of winds down underneath the onto the island, and there's like the lake water is kind of pooled and stagnated there, and you see the water is like a lot of it's covered in algae, and it smells kind of really accurate in here. It smells like green dragon, but on a rock, very neatly piled up, is just a small pile of a couple of things. What you see, and Tom, as you go over, as if it's neatly piled up and left for you so you could find it, you see 4 potions, and then you see 2 kind of large black coins. You know, they're large enough. They're almost like a small medallion, more than a coin.
And there's 5 of them, you said?
There's 2 coins and 4 potions.
2 coins, okay. Huh. Very interesting. So Tama's going to put on his best merchant behavior and start looking at the coins themselves.
All right. As you pick them up, on one side, the coins have a. What languages do you speak, Tomlin?
Common. I do sign language and Elvish.
All right, it's none of those languages. But as you pick them up, you see on one side are letters in some real kind of dark script that just doesn't make you feel right. Feels kind of wrong. And on the other side, you see a screaming face. And as you pick it up, all of a sudden, you get a flash of a berserker on the battlefield. It's like mowing down foes. And you hear a scream in the back of your head as you pick it up.
Oh my goodness.
Do you pick up the other one?
Yeah.
With that one, the scream is very different, and you get a flash of a woman sitting at a table, looking across the table at a black cat as she signs her name to a long piece of parchment with lots of fine print. Make a religion check, Talman.
You know me, I'm so bad at religion. But not bad, not a bad roll.
Oh, you know, as a merchant, you know what these are. These are soul coins. These are a currency of the underworld, and each one is minted from an actual mortal soul. You've never seen them. You've never held one.
Actually,
but you know what they are.
Didn't we meet somebody on one of our earlier adventures who was making soul coins? Seem to remember some witch that we met.
Yeah, the one that we saved from the not kobolds. The
oh no, she was collecting larvae.
Oh, that's right.
And she was collecting them to make meals out of them. Yeah, these are a currency minted somewhere in the lower planes. And you also find 4 potions. They're labeled for your convenience. There are 2 potions of water breathing and 2 potions of poison resistance.
Really weird that he would or she would leave us 2 poison resistance potions, but I'll take it.
Well, she said she was leaving you stuff that was of no use to her. As green dragons can also breathe water, you don't know why she had those, but she didn't care for them. You get the feeling there's probably other stuff here too that she took with her.
This is good enough for me. So that's what we ended up with out of there. Is there anything else of note left behind?
Just that.
All right. Well, I'll come out and make my way to the center here and let everyone know that Lauren, I've got a potion of poison resistance for you. Feel that you could probably use something like this. But I also have a second one for anyone that needs it. So that and some water breathing potions. Those were just the mundane items left behind. However, I also discovered 2 very distinct and interesting pieces of currency. And Tomlin will take a piece of cloth out of his cloak and show the, carefully unwrap the cloth and show the 2 coins. Believe that these are soul coins. Does anyone else know anything about these coins?
You guys have been in Sigil. You guys can make religion checks.
I say perhaps our cleric will be able to help Branwyn and be very important to see.
Pretty good. 18.
Branwyn,
Maybe I do.
what you know is that they're mentioned in lower planes, and one thing you did here in Sigil is that there are certain places where soul coins spend very differently than others, and so usually it's not worth trading them for currency. Usually it's worth finding some place that specifically costs a soul coin. Picture the gold coins in John Wick, where the exchange rate isn't often worth it so much as finding some place that actually trades in them.
So I have to admit, I've never seen a John Wick movie.
Neither have I.
Oh my goodness, you're missing out, man. Anyway,
hold on. Do we get how many sames? How many?
2.
No. How many people have never seen John Wick?
Myself.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought I heard Tramp.
It's half the people. I mean,
Yeah, pretty excellent.
That's okay. That's allowed that you not see that, but they're pretty fantastic.
They're very fun.
Highly recommended. Anyway, my point being, you could sell them or exchange them for gold, but Branwyn, you'd probably get more if you do that. However, Branwyn, with 19, you also know that these are the souls of mortals that found themselves one way or another on the lower planes, whether through sin or bargain or just outright capture. And with a 19, you also know that it is possible to destroy one and to free the soul. Now, wherever the soul goes after that is up to the soul and what it deserves. But it's often it's better to leave that fate to chance than to be stuck for eternity of pain and suffering minted into a coin of infernal iron.
These are interesting, and I'll explain a lot of that. All the important stuff. Just be like, you describe what happened to these people. I wonder if there's a way to find out more about them.
The accumulation of souls must have some kind of benefit to this Dragon Queen.
Well, Bran, yeah, she's a goddess. Like,
Yeah.
Souls are, for beings that know how to use them in the lower planes, souls are power. Like, and you're a cleric, you've been on the outer planes. Souls are literally the currency of power that drives the gods and their realms and their power versus itself.
It feels weird trading souls.
Feels evil.
Yep.
I fear it may be necessary at some point. But we don't know about these, so.
I think we should try to find a way to free the souls trapped within.
But in a careful way so as to not to destroy them.
Yeah, no argument. I just can't really see any situation where bartering with them would reflect well on us.
No, that's definitely true, but if we just smash them, we don't know what'll happen.
Well, and if we do end up in some of the lower planes, they may be useful.
For what?
The currency.
Yes, perhaps this is the kind of chit we need in order to gain passage.
She would traffic in the souls of others for some kind of personal gain.
I agree. That's basically like infernalism or whatever they call it. It's a thing of devils and demons.
It is morally repugnant, but I believe that is how the lower planes operate.
I don't disagree on that, but we're not of the lower planes, nor would I seek to emulate the beings of the lower planes.
I am absolutely okay if we would like to release the souls, but until we figure out a safe way to do so, I don't know that that's something that we'll be able to do easily.
I agree it may not be easy, but right now we are the best hope for the souls of these coins. If we were to trade it away to some devil, we would be essentially condemning them to damnation.
What if they already sold their soul?
No, we can't understand what might drive somebody to do that. It could be desperation. The stories are full of devils tricking mortals in their worst moments.
I mean, it could be the soul of someone evil. Maybe having them trapped here is a good thing.
What? No.
Perhaps it is not for us to judge, and we should just give it over to those who know better than us.
Yes, you should give it to some of the holy people of the Haji and let them sort it out.
Well, what if these people were not followers of Al-Hajj? What if those actions would not agree with these people's their desire?
The
Do
caravan
they not have a voice?
The caravan takes people to where they need to go. I'm sure some of them don't like it, but that is the most reasonable thing for us to do.
Braywin, and that's like a core tenet of the Haji is is this the Grey Sultan takes people where they're supposed to go.
And I also know that as a soldier fighting a battle, sometimes you have to do things that you wouldn't normally do and use resources that you wouldn't normally use. So use everything at our disposal.
You are committed to this descent.
That's your view of it.
I think what he's saying is trading in souls is a profane evil. It'd be like saying that we will murder babies if the opportunity arises, and we need to do that to save our own skins.
I would decline in that case.
As would I.
That is a radical, illogical jump.
I don't know that trading in souls is necessarily any better than murdering infants.
The soul is eternal. All men
Don't
die.
know anything about them. My first words were, I think we should find out more about these people.
So
Made
when,
judgment, I
when
am-
Tomlin handled him, he said he got a flash of like a vision of something.
Yeah, I missed someone in battle, and then there was a woman.
I've been
Yeah.
signing a contract, yeah.
So maybe if you meditated over them, you might be able to learn more.
I would try. Not right now, but perhaps another time. I think we have places to go.
Well, where are we going next? That ziggurat?
Yeah, past
Well-
the city into the jungle.
So here's
Can we-
okay. So let
can
me
we-
clarify something, guys. There's no past the city. There's only through the city, and that is fortunate because that's also it's keeping the invading forces from flooding up into the Sinnerton Vale. Across the lake is like the upper city. And the upper city is kind of a resort town, it's on the shores of this kind of artificial lake. And there's all these locks and dams because it's at the top of a large series of waterfalls. The waterfalls go down several hundred feet into the lower city. Now, several hundred feet down in the lower city, that's where all the jungles are. And this is just what you guys know academically. I don't know that any of you have ever been here. And then far upriver, because the river continues at the base, somewhere in the Thunder Vale, before you get to Pyroclasm Peak, are these ziggurats, supposedly. You guys can all make history checks, if you like.
Yeah.
We light the lighthouse as a signal.
Yeah, we probably should.
All right, 16 and 18. You know that Thunder Run is very much like a resort. The upper levels are a resort town. A lot of rich people from, especially Sinnerton, but also like Khazad-Ungart and other places, historically have come to the upper city for just for vacations, to see the waterfalls. There's all sorts of like watercraft on the lake, like boats that they can rent and stuff. It's a resort town, right? At the bottom, the lower city is very different. The lower city is very much so a slum. It's a lot of dock workers. Because the other thing that defines Thunder Run with the waterfalls are the locks. The locks and dams, they're a means of getting barges up and down river. for hundreds of feet, and there are also cranes and too. So a lot of people in Cinderton they either work in the upper city as employees of the resort, or they work in the lower city as dock workers, and or workers in the locks and the barges and such. Then also the 1618 historically, this along with Cinderton was all subject to Pyroclasm Peak. That hasn't been true in a long time. But amongst the forces that historically fought, or at least were part of Pirania's forces, are whispered an enclave of snake men or Yuan Ti. You don't know much more about them than that they exist, as they are pretty secretive. But your options now, guys. You can light the thing. You can talk to Brindler. Then you can, now that you found out where they are, and you found out where you can return with the intel to Cinderton and eventually to Reyes, or you can press on to the city and see how far you get. The city is a war zone. The other thing that defines the city, with an 18 Lyrial, and actually Lyrial, you saw this on the way up. It was very, very difficult to traverse this even with your magics, is something called the Cling. So I'm going to show you guys something here. As in fact, I have a map of the city. So you guys, so the top of this map is actually east. So your lighthouse would be off the top of this map, in that lake. So you see there's all these locks and dams before these big waterfalls, and there's all these beautiful upper city, villas and hotels and resorts and restaurants and all sorts of stuff. And then there's the lower city, which is not nearly as nice. And then as you go past here, this broad lake turns quickly into jungle. And then the river flows out of that. Then all along the edges here is something called the Cling. So if the lower city is a slum, the Cling is like really a slum. These are all sorts of different dwellings and just hidey holes that have been either attached to the rocks or dug into the rocks. And navigating them outside of the dedicated elevators and locks is tricky, and people die there all the time, or at least not people you care about, or that the city cares about, but they're dangerous. So look at this: the lower city, from what you've heard, is overrun with the invaders. The upper city is holding, and in between there is the Cling.
We see that from the lighthouse? Like, if we light the lighthouse, will they be able to see it?
The upper city will be able to see it. Lower city and the Cling will not, because they're below and facing away from you guys.
I don't remember. Would the giving them the sign, would that be a good thing? That the lighthouse is lit?
It would tell Brindler, and that'd be a good thing. Or if you don't light it, you can just go back and talk to him. Because if you don't light it, then you don't give it away the fact that you've taken out those forces. Though, of course, Viridia said she was going to go back and tell them that the advanced forces that had made it over the mountains had been lost.
Well, it's up to you all. Do we light the lighthouse, or Go back. Let them know.
Yeah, it makes sense to light it. Looks like we're pretty free of enemy forces around here.
Maybe we'll
Yeah.
give hope to the other defenders.
I think that that's something that they could all use as a little hope, knowing what we would potentially be up against and knowing that we were able to actually handle it. So yes, let's light it up.
I agree.
It is magical, and it is not at all hard for you guys to figure out how to turn it. Once you do, you guys all think to look away because it's bright enough to be seen even during the daytime, and at night it's probably really bright. All right. So after a rest and examining what the dragon left of its hoard for you, do you wish to press on to the city, or do you wish to go back?
I think we should press on.
Yeah, because our objective's over there.
Second, guys. I'm saying goodnight. Okay. Okay. Hey, guys, take a quick break. I gotta go help put her to bed. Okay. Right back.
Okay.
Sounds good. I'm back.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm back too.
think we're just waiting on Jonathan.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think he's doing like a longer thing. No, Shram, I never left. I'm in a hotel room. There's nowhere to go.
Not even to the bathroom or the hotel bar.
Yeah, you're gonna refill at the bar.
So there was an open bar event immediately before this, and I took 2 cocktails after having more than 2. So
That's what I used to do
I'm
at the
currently on my last G&T, but I think it's probably going to do the trick before bedtime.
hotel in Idaho. When I played there, it was happy hour at like 5 o'clock at the bar. So I bought like 3 pints and took them all up to my refrigerator in the room and left them in there.
Well, it's been a work event with like sponsors doing mixers both nights, and so I still have like the hotel gives you 2 free drink tickets, and I haven't even used them. One of our vendors threw a like football watch party, and my boss and I shut it down last night. And then there was an hour. It was a happy hour and a half actually, but
So is this like a conference that you're at?
yeah, it's like a trade conference. It's not a show. It's a conference. There's a bunch of suppliers and a bunch of distributors, and we're just getting together to. The meetings were actually some of the most productive, except they started at 7:30.
It's like they don't realize people are out late drinking.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly didn't hate it because one, I could have not gone. They're like all these things are events that you can go or not go to, but like what would I have been doing? Sitting in my hotel room, you know?
Sleeping.
At least I got a bagel out of this.
A what?
Bagel. I got a bagel
Oh,
out of going to
bagel.
the 7:30.
Yeah.
It was I took a chance on a jalapeno cheddar, and I was not disappointed.
Are you? Where'd you say you're at? You're
Baltimore.
Indiana? Baltimore. Oh,
Yeah.
much further.
I'm not gonna see like any of it, so
Yeah. Bloody More Murderland.
yeah, I would immediately start dealing heroin if I could, but I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down to Amsterdam.
And see
Gotta
Captain
watch out
Holt.
gotta watch out for Omar.
Well, he likes to announce himself coming, and so it's pretty easy to avoid him.
But not on Sundays. He's at church with his mama.
Yeah, absolutely. So
A man got to have a code.
but I had to do this trip, and then I'm back for Wednesday, Thursday, and then Archon's Friday, so it's a lot.
Yeah. I'm on call this weekend. It's gonna suck. Our on-call
Yeah,
lately
your
has been
last
terrible.
one called Blue, yeah.
Oh yeah, the last one was horrendous. Oh, actually no, the last one was fine. The July one was terrible.
Yeah, that was one where we got live updates of you working for 14 hours.
Yeah, that was terrible. 14 hours one day, 10 hours the next. Haven't had anything like that in years, though. So it was probably due. That's also why I'm hoping to find a position where I'm not on call anymore.
That's the dream. Rebecca's got a meeting with a recruiter Friday because of government shutdown is going to be a lot of fun.
Yay.
Yeah, Shram, maybe you guys can hang out. I don't know. The shutdown stuff just fucks everything up, and she finds herself like getting whipped around. Her boss died, so she's got a new boss that she hates, and
Our boss
Like
died?
Vegas-
Oh,
yeah,
shit, man.
yeah.
How
Well,
did
it
that
was a
happen?
story, but he died. That's the short story. So she's just trying to find something else.
Anyway.
Yeah, we were just
back
waiting
to
on you.
back to the fantasy. Yeah, sorry guys. All right. Welcome back. Okay, so you lit the lighthouse, and then do you want to go back to Brenner, or do you want to straight to the city?
We'll do the city.
Yeah, no backtracking.
All right. All right, you have a boat. The water of the lake is calm, and as you get away from the island, the smell of chlorine dissipates a bit. As it wasn't a big dragon, so it was only that small area that had started to corrupt. You come in towards the city, and you don't see anyone. The streets are deserted, from what you can tell. The water seems to be flowing through in the canals. You can hear the sounds of the waterfalls rumbling in the not too distant other side of the city. But you don't see any sign of people as you come in.
Oh, this is
If
eerie.
the Twisted Dragonborn have taken the city, they likely won't be able to hold it all. So the most dangerous places will be the choke points.
Well, we're trying to get to the jungle with the ziggurats, so we need basically to stay on the river until we get to one of the locks where they can lower us down.
Yeah, if there's people that'll help you, but we can't do it ourselves.
Yeah, so maybe we just stick to the water for now and see if the locks are in operation when we get to them.
Okay, let's see. Let's call this. So you notice that and there are more canals in the city than are pictured in this picture. This is like a microcosm of the city. Thunder Run's pretty not nearly as big as Centerton, but it's still a city. Go ahead. Let's call it a survival check to navigate the canals where you want to go.
Is that group survival?
Yeah, oh, sure.
I did okay.
Oh, there's a crit in there, Lornan. Okay, Lornan, realize if you follow the main canal, you're gonna go, and that is not what you want.
You're gonna. Sorry, you cut
You're
out.
gonna go. Oh, if you follow the large, broad main canal, you're gonna go right over the. So you start heading down a side street, and after not too long, the city is oddly quiet. I say that because there's this constant rumble from the waterfall. It gets louder as you get towards the city. It's not overwhelming because it's still a resort town. So if it were too loud, they wouldn't be able to have field vacation here. But it's just this kind of constant background, almost soothing kind of white noise. But as you guys head towards the side, you take one of the broader side streets because you figure, oh, that's probably big enough for a barge. Maybe there's a lock that way. And there's bridges over the canals and everything. But as you head that way, Lauren, everyone make a perception check. Honestly, 13 and up will do it. You guys become aware that you're being watched from a couple of the windows. As you look toward them, you just catch a brief little flutter of a curtain or a brief shadow that moves as you look toward. But you don't. But with a 21, you see a flash of red, and a 20 as well. You guys see a flash of red scales from whoever is watching you through the window.
I think it's the locals. But they may not know to be on our side any more than anyone else. Sooner or later, though, we're going to come to a narrowing, and we're going to be ripe for attack. So either we can try and seek allies to get out of town, or we can try and go a stealthy route.
Well, I'm not terribly stealthy, but I'll give it a shot. I believe luck can get me most of the way there.
So
If-
we
Stealth-
get off the boat and walk down the cliff.
I mean, there are many paths down the cliff. If you all listen to me, we'll have a much better chance of sneaking through. Or we can take a chance and try and convince the local dragon-blooded that we are their allies in their resistance. Though there's nothing to say that some of the locals haven't gone dragon side.
Thing is,
Probably better
There's-
served by just stealthing through this place and closing the portal before we do anything else.
the city is occupied though. Like, I think we would have seen somebody like on the streets. It's almost like there's a quarantine or a curfew. Which, honestly, if people are murdering each other because they're carrying these daggers and whatnot, might make sense to keep everyone indoors.
Well, which route do you want to take?
FYI, you guys have already been seen.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I don't know, I say since we've been spotted, we just stick to the canal until we get to the lock, see if it's in operation.
So neither trying to make allies or trying to be stealthy, just going on through.
I mean,
Just
I
so-
voted for stealthing through.
I thought JT was just saying that we've already been spotted, so I don't know how we stealth at that point.
Like, did the DM boom over us and say that? Like,
You guys saw people watching you from the windows.
no, I know. I told them that, but
Oh,
I
okay.
said, I don't know. We could still try and evade them if they're watching us from the windows, and we walk away from that building. Then we don't have a problem.
Now we can try to pick our way down the cliffs. They'll just need to steal a boat at the bottom.
Maybe we can find some of the locals and let them know that, we're here to help. Maybe they can provide some information, tell us more about the portals more than anything they know.
Now it's a big place. I don't really even know where to start as far as recruiting help. It's probably just regular people in most of these buildings.
Won't know if we don't ask. You want to talk someone into helping us out?
Alright, well, it seems like you guys want to talk to the locals, so let's pull over and talk to somebody.
Actually, 2 other members voted for stealth. I don't care either way.
What if we flipped a coin? Let luck and fate decide.
Just not those
That's kind of my
points.
thing, you guys.
Yeah. How big are the soul coins?
Probably the size of pancakes.
They're like
That's like banana for
lar-
scale.
larger than the silver dollar.
Okay.
Like smaller around than an apple, but not by much.
Yeah. I say we just leave those in the bag of holding for a while. I mean, we don't have to. I'm just throwing something out there. So.
Well, if we choose stealth, what's the preferred route?
To break away from the boat, make our way down through some of the streets, and then try and pick up a boat when we're down there.
Yes, that seems like the most efficient way to make that happen.
It's just I don't know what you think you're gonna find at the locks, but I don't think it's going to be helpful people. At the
No.
best case scenario, they'll be shut down because of curfew.
In the worst case, we fight whoever's
Get
got
attacked.
control of it and then lower the boat ourselves.
That's not the worst case. The worst case would be us being attacked while we're all standing crowded in a boat.
Yeah, I really don't want my last
True.
words to be arguing with us. So perhaps we.
So there's no other river traffic here, Jonathan.
No, like you haven't seen anybody. But you get about halfway through the locks. There are a couple convenient places to tie up, and like some stone steps to go out of the canal and up onto the street level.
Now, how could we get into the locks if no one is operating the locks?
You don't know. You'd have to get. Yeah.
No, you said you get halfway into the locks. Let's see this. How
Oh, it's halfway into the city. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I misspoke.
Yeah, there's plenty of places to start.
Yeah, I mean, there are people here. They're all just inside. So. All right, well, let's tie it up and try to walk our way down.
All right, so you guys tie up on the boat. You guys,
Jonathan,
yeah, I'm here. What's up?
I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace.
Very smart. Okay.
And I cast aid on Dorn, Lornan, and Branwyn. Basically, you guys can assume I do that every morning unless I say otherwise. So 5 hit points.
So you want us to make a group stealth check to get down?
Yes.
Everyone has plus 10.
Nice.
$29.
I have disadvantage because I'm wearing armor.
I got 36.
Nice.
22.
Not terrible.
All right.
25.
I rolled a 1, but halfling luck kicked in, and I got a 19.
Nice. Okay.
I got magic shoes, so.
Yeah, you do. All right, you guys are super quiet. You make your way through the streets. The streets here look like they were once and recently absolutely beautiful. All the streets are made out of polished stone, either flagstones or even marble in some places. The buildings are all pristine and very expensive looking, but you also amongst all the towers and balconies and porticos that look either out towards the lake, or you see others that look out toward the jungle, which you don't have quite a good view of yet. You now see like there's places where trash is piled up, or you see signs of a fight, or like barricades that have been hastily erected and then smashed through with like what was once probably really fancy furniture. And so you see signs. You do see signs of limited intermittent fighting that have happened throughout the city.
It's nighttime, right?
It is no. After your long rest, it was
It's
daytime.
daytime now. Okay.
Yeah.
The shadows themselves conspire to conceal us when I cast a spell. So like our shadows start to move independently, like peeking around corners for us. Like shadows of buildings and stuff lean over to obscure our path. If somebody else is coming, maybe they pull back so the light is super bright in their eyes or something like that. But that's how we get our plus 10s.
Nice. That's cool. All right.
As we're working our way through the streets, I'm going to take a pause to cast Unseen Servant. Just if we need an invisible dude to do something for us over here.
Okay. So you easily make your way, and you don't see. Everyone make perception checks now.
You know, if you like that, Lenway's shadow like moves independently, a la Peter Pan.
Of course it does.
That's fine.
Because she's a Fey Ranger, so that's like one of the quirks you can get.
All right.
Should not have been disadvantaged, but I got double 7, so it's the same.
Okay. So yeah.
Everybody sees it but you.
Yeah. Well, here's what happens. You guys after coming out of there's not really alleys here because there are no this is the really nice part of town.
But
right?
there's arches and there's archways and stuff.
There are archways. There are plenty of bridges that go across the canals. There's also higher up bridges that connect. There's breezeways that connect different buildings that are part of the same larger structure. You know, it's all very elaborate and all except for the places where you can see.
I've been to a lot of places. There have to be allies if there are two. There has to be alleys if there's two buildings next to each other.
Well, and when I say there's what you don't see is you don't see slum alleys or there's no poor part of town here because this is not the poor part of town. That is further down.
So are there any signs or proclamations or graffiti or anything that kind of gives a clue as to what's going on?
Yeah, there's got to be graffiti. So as it turns out, you see, the strangest thing, you see some of it says down with the Dragon Queen or the only good Dragonborn is a native Dragonborn. Then you also see this thunder never runs and stuff like that. Now, with your higher perception checks, guys, Doran, you're busy focused on the graffiti, and most of the graffiti here is basic signs of resistance. And with everyone else, you guys continue to see people watching for you, but they're having a lot of trouble doing so. There's probably a couple places where they do catch glimpses of you when stealth is impossible, like when you're crossing a bridge, but whoever's following you is finding it nearly impossible. But there are definitely red-scaled people, more than one, that are aware of your presence now in the city. When you come around a corner, you get to what you think is the lock. And for a couple things. One, you are right next to a cliff face, within 15, 20 feet of it. You look out and you see through the mist this expansive jungle far below you, just stretching out into the distance. Can't see a lot just because of all the mist, but it's a pretty impressive sight. It'd be more impressive from one of the higher, so you'd be further away from the mist. You also see that you are next to a large lock, big enough for barges to go through. It is open, and the water is freely flowing through it. And then the other thing you see is everyone. Does anyone have? Let's see, Tinker's tools.
No.
Not really my
Nope.
thing.
Nope.
You see there is some sort of mechanism here, complicated, meant for operating the lock. But the other thing is, with a 23 Lyrial, you say pause. There are people watching the locks. So you have not been spotted yet, but if you approach the mechanism, stealth will be impossible and you'll be seen.
Okay, well, let's just climb down then, and avoid the waterways.
Yep. That probably makes the most sense.
I mean, we already knew this was going to happen because we're the lock is the most likely place to be observed, so that's why we abandoned the boat. Down.
Okay. You guys start looking around for a way down. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, everyone make a survival check.
Roll a lot of ones today.
Man, we slammed it.
2.
Okay. You guys can, from various vantage points, you can see signs of buildings and bridges and rope ladders and such that are like clinging to the cliffs. You don't find a good way down. However, as you're doing that at one point, you do become aware, like there is at the top of one of the cliffs. You don't see them at first because they're all hidden, but you see about 3 or 4 individuals. The couple you can see all have red scales that seem to be guarding the top of the cliff. There's probably a way down there. They don't seem to be guarding it from the direction you're coming from.
We are magically. Well, I wouldn't say that. It's like we are protected by elven ways from sight, but even that can't stop us from walking right in front of someone. We can try and climb down the cliff, which would be little effort for me, but considerably more for some of you. Or we can try and cause a distraction and then run past them.
It might occur to someone you could also try talking to them.
They already didn't want to do that. Dude,
Oh, okay.
whatever, man.
Suggested it.
I don't think we're going to be able to go until we talk to somebody, because the DM is pretty not shy about telling us to do it every single time.
Fine.
There seems to be some kind of
You
civil
know what?
war.
If we don't have to get out of character about it, if in character you guys want to avoid talking to anyone and find a way down, keep looking.
Yeah, we did kind of biff our survival checks.
Yeah, we sure did.
Sorry, we can't just jump off and cast Featherfall. You know?
You certainly could.
I don't know. Like, as a former Radiant Aegis person, would I have one of the Featherfall tokens?
Probably
A
not.
A lot of collectors will snap those up.
Yeah.
So we do have a potion of gaseous form and a potion of climbing. Both could be useful right now.
At this point, I'm assuming you guys have pulled back a bit from the Guardians, so you can talk a bit more freely.
Sad thing is we only have one of each potion, so
Yeah.
good luck getting
Oh,
everybody.
I don't see any other way down. Maybe some of those people have been watching us. Maybe you're friendly. They'll help us out.
Well, my suspicion is that the red scaled dragons are loyal to Pyrania. Yeah, their city may be under curfew because apparently there's an uprising here.
Right? It's the middle of the day, so this isn't curfew. This is just how it is.
Martial law, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
No, it's a
Fear.
war. It's a war zone.
It occurs to you guys that like thousands upon thousands of refugees have made their way to Cinderton and down now on in Radiance. And the other thing is, you look around, everyone can make insight checks.
this will be better for us.
That's pretty good. Oh, 18s. All right. 18s, you realize this part of the city was never that populated because it's the rich people part. So there's a lot of acreage and a lot of square footage per person. And most of those people have probably already fled. Because there are now thousands upon thousands of people in Cinderton and the Canvas Fields that weren't there a couple of years ago.
Well, I mean, this place doesn't look like it's under a direct hostile occupation. I mean, maybe we should just go talk to the guards. Try to get the story on what's happening and what they expect from us.
I mean, if this truly is a war zone, the people we're likely to run into are the people fighting.
But we walked all
And
this
if they
way.
are-
We walked all this way and we haven't seen any active fighting, so it's got to be sporadic, if anything, at this point.
Not all combat is soldiers on a field facing one another. Sometimes it's house to house. They're probably watching us, sizing us up.
I'd expect more fires, more racket.
No, I don't. It's quiet until something explodes. Everyone's hiding until a strike is made.
Well, yeah, that'd
Nobody
be,
wants to give up their
that-
position.
that'd be sporadic fighting.
But otherwise, it'd be quiet. Keep with their head down. Those people watching us wanting to see what we're going to do.
People that have been looking out the windows at us, do they seem like soldiers, or are they just like, regular folks?
You know, from the little glimpse you caught, they seemed like Red Direct, which is the majority of the citizenry of Thunder Run. There may have been one that was more humanoid. It was difficult to tell in the glimpses you got.
But they weren't like wearing like helmets or armor or any of that.
That wasn't like really a motif that you saw, no.
Okay. Yeah.
With your insight, the people you've seen, you are sure they're not the invaders because you fought the invaders. Like what little glimpses you've caught, these are the defenders of the city. Because you guys have got some good inside checks there.
Yeah, they're not like the foreign, from another plane people, but they could be
Right.
sympathizers.
Right. Lyriel, I assume Lyriel has also kind of explained to you the difference between Dragonborn, Draconians, and Abishai. Like to the uninitiated observer, like the human, all look same. Like you could see someone making that mistake, but once you know there's a difference, there's a very clear and obvious difference. Dragonborn are almost always red skin here in Thunder Run. To a person. Draconians have wings. This Dragonborn did not. And they also tend to have tarnished metallic scales. And Abishai have an absolutely unmissable fiendish cast to them. Like they have a kind of a devilish twistedness to them. And they also have wings.
Well, unless anybody has a good idea on how to get down from this cliff without going that way, I think we should just talk to him.
I have no easy way to do it, so perhaps this is the easiest path.
could always just send 1 or 2 people ahead to talk and leave the rest, in case we need to run or, lead them back into an ambush or something. But nah, I kind of think we should just keep the group together and talk to them.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right. So not hearing any immediate objections, I guess Dorn's just going to walk toward the guards.
As you do, what is your posture like as you kind of break stealth and walk toward them?
I'm not going to have a weapon drawn or anything. Just kind of walk casually, and when they look over to me, I'll kind of give them a friendly wave.
Okay. As you walk up, and you totally get the drop on them, they look over. Let's see here. Let's see just how surprised they are. 5. Okay. A crossbow bolt shoots out, goes not even close to you, but just off into the mist, and you're, idiot. Who is that? Who are you?
Yeah, whoa. Wasn't quite the friendly greeting I was hoping for.
Cat, watch your weapon, man. Come on. We practiced this.
I take it you all are loyal to Pyrania?
The Redborn Pyrania, what? No. We're Thunder Run, born and bred.
So
where are you from?
Somewhere far to the north. My friends and I are trying to get south of here, if such a thing is possible.
You're trying to get...
Or northwest, sorry. Yeah. We're far to the south.
Look, man. I don't know how the fuck you got here. This is as you look. The guy kind of stands up. You see, he is red dragonborn. Actually, this one's more human. He is wearing a tattered bit of what would have once have been a footman's livery, but then over that he's thrown like a chain shirt that doesn't really fit him. He's got a crossbow and a short sword, and he looks up. He says, "Look, I don't know if like you just didn't get the memo. We're not taking reservations right now. This is a war zone, asshole."
And I'm going to kind of look at him and give him my best intimidating stare and say, "I've seen my share of war and death. I can take care of myself. Perhaps we could help you, or your cause, if we know what it is."
Make a persuasion check, Dorn.
Persuasion or intimidation?
Okay, either way. You pick.
So I'm trying to look like I'm a grizzled veteran. I'll do intimidation.
Okay.
I'm good at
Sure.
that, too.
Oh! It's like, oh, hey! Oh, shit, man. Look, I didn't mean nothing by it. I mean, you're clearly not one of the stone scales or one of the acid scales. And, look, how the hell did you get here?
Through a swath of enemy corpses.
Wait, you killed him?
And
And like the other guys around him look kind of impressed. Like, oh. And someone else says, "Hey, I think he's on our side."
That's what I've been trying to say. But I can't claim to have killed them all myself. My companions here helped. But
I'll ride up on Boomer and kind of back him up and say, "You guys know Brindler?"
Oh shit! You know Brindler? Is he okay? We haven't heard from him in like 3 days.
He's
Yeah. He's
Oh fuck yes! And like the other 3 guys that another one's dressed like a footman, kind of like him. The other 2 just are dressed in like peasant garb, and they just have kind of haphazard arms and armaments, whatever they find lying around. He says, "His words. Okay, is he back in the city? The mayor will want to talk to him."
No, we took out a scouting party. That lighthouse over there. We lit it after clearing it out. He's at
Wait.
the trade house on the river.
Wait, what do you mean clearing out? There were invaders in the lighthouse? How'd they get past us?
Over the mountain.
They fly, dipshit, says another guy.
Yeah, there was a green dragon. We chased it off. We didn't kill it.
Wait, you saw Viridia? You lived?
Barely.
She has killed like a dozen of my friends.
Sorry for your loss.
I don't suppose you were able to take her out, were you?
No, we couldn't. She flew away. We weren't able to stop her.
Shit, you're lucky enough to be alive, man.
So you're defending this
Hey.
point. This point here. What's down below that you're defending?
Look, the whole fucking army of these guys. There's snake men, there's these dragonborn that aren't dragonborn. I don't know what the fuck they are. But they mostly come at night. Mostly. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you can tell, we're not really the most elite here, but we're just trying to guard the lock, guard the top of the cliff during the day, just to make sure they don't come up. We'll get relieved by a couple of the better fighters here in the evening.
Well,
The mayor's got a bodyguard, and there's Lord Lukash, who's kind of a dick, but also kind of amazing. But
it's a good defensible position you got here with them coming up from below. You guys keep
I
your
best we
nerve
could-
and stay steady.
best we can do, we disabled all the locks. But if they ever get to the top here and fix them, I mean, shit's all over, man.
Unfortunately for us, we need to get to the bottom.
You do not want that, man. Trust me. There's like thousands of those guys down there. We've got almost every night they try and climb the cliffs. You see those wings of theirs, they can't most fly. They can just sort of glide. So we knock them off and they just glide down and start climbing up again. We're lucky. We're basically non-combatants, but at least we don't have to do the fighting on the cling.
So what about the waterways at the bottom? Do they control those too, or are they mostly just on the land?
As far as we can tell, Lower City's theirs.
So if we were to get one of you to lower us down in the lock on our ship, they'd pretty much be able to stop our ship immediately.
Yeah, you'd be dead. I mean, no offense. You sound like you guys may know what it's about, but there's a whole army at the base of the cliffs.
Well, it sounds like we need to come up with some sort of not well-published route to get around them.
Look, I don't know who you guys are, but maybe you should talk to the mayor. I'm not really the best person to talk to you about this sort of thing. Mayor might know more than I do.
Look to the group and say, no, I don't have a better idea.
I don't either.
Someone in charge. Let's go find them.
I can take you if you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you can spare the manpower from this post, sure.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time they came during the day, but it'll be, I think, yeah, this way. So you guys really faced off against Viridia and lived? How? He says as he walks you through the city.
It's a rather long story, but let's just say we found common ground and managed to avoid some overly grisly conflict through some very strategic placement and some very intimidating posture. We wiped out some of the minions that were sent to soften us up, and did so, dispatched them so quickly and efficiently, flew right off.
Holy shit, are you guys like Eidolons or something?
No, of course not.
Just a traveling bard. Who knows how to use a sword?
It's more I can say. I mean, I can set a place setting to within a quarter of an inch, but like I've fired this crossbow maybe like, I don't know, a dozen times.
Well,
None of us want to be here.
Everybody starts somewhere. I mean, it wasn't too long ago I was getting my ass kicked repeatedly in the Temple of Estalia.
It's Talia. You got one over on me, man. I can barely even afford to go to services in the Church of Laurelleith. But I hear that's not too expensive in other cities. Anyway, the mayor's holed up in one of the hotels this way. So he leads you guys through the city. You guys follow him?
Yep.
Okay. And he leads you to a back servants entrance of what is probably a very large kind of posh hotel. And he leads you through a kitchen. You see the kitchen is actually pretty busy. They don't have any fires lit. So everything they're doing, they're trying to do like cold or trying to find some other way to cook stuff. It's all very haphazard, but they have some decent supplies. You just through the kitchen, through the servants' hallways to a large, looks like a ballroom, and the ballroom where once was this like set up for parties and stuff. The tables are out. You see there's like all these cots everywhere, and you see there's people there's like supplies that they've rolled in, and you see at the maps are a couple of Dragonborn, including one wearing like a very kind of what once was a fancy but feminine dress, and is now kind of a little bedraggled and beaten up. And you see this woman, like she has a full red draconic head, but with the spectacles on, and she's looking at over the map of the city. And in the corner, you actually see most of the people here Dragonborn. In the corner, you see a group of sitting around. Some of them sleeping, some of them like polishing weapons, some of them playing cards. And one guy who's dressed much more fancily, sitting with the feet up on the table, reading a novel and with a glass of wine. He says, "Mayor, excuse me," and the woman's like, "Scat, why aren't you at your post?" "Listen, these people snuck up on me, but they're not invaders. I think they're here to help." "Look, I did what I thought was right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave my post. I'm trying to follow." She says, I know. You're not a soldier, Scat. I get it. You did the right thing. Why don't you go and get back to your post?" She looks over the rest of you guys. "Well, you're the last thing I expected to see. Welcome to Thunder Run."
Well, I'd say it's a pleasure to be here, but it unfortunately really isn't.
"I'm Mayor Flightwater. You can call me Zamaria. We're kind of beyond niceties at this point."
I'm Inquisitor Dorn Hendris.
"Inquisitor, that's a new one. What are you inquisiting, Dorn?" "Mr. Hendris?"
Trying to root out the followers of Tiamat. Send them back
Well,
to where they came from.
"Well, I got great news for you. You found them."
Yes, I've heard there's quite a lot of them at the base of the cliff.
I'll say.
So your people seem to be doing a decent job of keeping them from getting to the top of the cliff. I was wondering if perhaps you knew some way to get us on the other side of the enemy somehow. Any smugglers' tunnels, secret passages, things like that.
Let's talk. Drink?
Wouldn't turn it down.
All right. She nods to one of her aides. Why don't you break out a barrel of something fancy? Better that than going to the enemy. Of course, Lord Mayor. Lord Lukash, care to join us? She says to the human. And the human looks up from his book, and Lord Lukash, I picture him. Maybe not. But there you go. Just for fun. You see, he is dressed partially in like a light leather armor, and but also he clearly has this aura of nobility about him. Like his clothes are built to be rugged, but also very fancy as well. He puts his book down. He says, "Ah, newcomers, welcome to Thunder Run. Wish you could see it in its heyday. It's much more pleasant then, but great to see you all. Great to see you. I am Lord Lukash Vacanthus of the Synditon Vacanthus. Old joke. Welcome. Tell me, have I met any of you before, perhaps when I was drunker?
Unless you've been to an inn.
I've never met you before in my life.
Plain as
I've been to many inns, and passed out in many of them, and oh my god. I know if I'd remember if I'd ever met you, he says, looking over at Lornan.
I give him a small wave.
I must say, the color of your hair is absolutely breathtaking.
It's called green.
Yes, like summer leaves and emeralds all rolled into one.
I have the leaves tattooed on my face, and I pull back some of my hair to show them off.
He moves up closer to inspect. Do you mind if I inspect them? Wow. I've always thought
Look at them.
the artistry of the elves to be the most beautiful. Dwarves always have a great amount of function, but when it comes to form, nothing beats the elven. And he's human, totally. But it's a pleasure to meet you. I didn't catch your name yet, my good sir.
I'm Lornan Alberon.
Lornan Alberon. Yes, I know I'd remember if I ever met you. Pleasure. And then the mayor comes in. All right, Lord Vacanthus, there'll be time for that later, or not. They bring a couple bottles of wine over and start pouring for whoever wants it. Everybody it looks to be a really old bottle and a really old vintage.
Yeah, I'll take some of that.
Yeah, it's like dates back to the Eidolon Wars.
Yeah. Tomlin's gonna take a look at the bottle and examine it.
The first and the last one.
This bottle would probably run somewhere north of 50 gold by itself. And she breaks like two of them.
I actually don't think it's a very good time to drink wine. And I know you don't know me, but that's saying a lot.
Oh, indeed, I bet it is. Lord Alberon.
We need to cross the city before nightfall.
Oh, but don't leave before nightfall if you've come to help. That's when the fighting is the best.
We need the cover of night to get across the water.
Our help was more strategic in nature. We're hoping to find the portal that all these things are coming through, and either shut it down or help devise a plan to shut it down at some point.
Portal, says the mayor. What portal? I'm sorry, it seems you have more intelligence, Inquisitor. Why don't you start from the beginning? And so that you can start from whatever port you want and just kind of blah or do. What do you want to tell them?
I'll just kind of explain the, that we came down from Cinderton, and encountered the green dragon and the fight through the fight thereabouts. And then I'll just finish by saying we've learned the portal is it's somewhere where snake men live called the Ziggurat of Katesh.
You want to go to the Ziggurats?
Well, want is a pretty strange characterization, but that's where we need to be.
All right, that is our goal and our quarry.
Well, you all seem like you know what you're about, and as much as we would love to have extra defenders here, it sounds to me like if you could stop them from getting reinforcements, that clearly would help more.
Just as important as stopping the creatures from coming through, we're trying to stop the flow of these black talon daggers.
Oh, you mean like this, says the Lord, and you see he pulls his sword, and it's this like broad cutlass, like a sailor would wear, but it is absolutely a black talon.
Doran will just kind of face palm.
Yes! Not quite the best blade I've ever wielded, but I took this one off one of the invaders. And in my dreams, he swapped it out for a better one. It was just a dagger before, and now it's this very fine cutlass. I must say, it kills invaders excellently. 5 stars, would absolutely recommend.
If you don't relieve yourself of that blade, it'll only be a matter of time before you hand the city to them on a silver platter.
I'm sorry, what?
That's the game, you see. They give you these blades, and people think they're great, and they use them. And before you know it, you're talking to your dead relatives, and they're telling you to hand them the keys to the city.
It's confusing. That's not been my experience. And he thinks for a second, he says, though I'm in the interest of not being the turd in the punch bowl, I don't want to be the compromised unit that lets everyone down. I've fought too hard to save this city. It's my favorite vacation spot after all. But no, I have actually... I thought it was just my imagination, but some of the snake men I've killed, I thought I was just imagining them talking to me. Still not my family members. Oh, perish the thought. Can you imagine Mother speaking to me in the middle of combat, or perhaps in the middle of a dangerous liaison? He looks over at Lorden.
Rather than spend a bunch of words on the convincing of the thing, perhaps a demonstration, if you will let us borrow your blade for a moment.
You're gonna make a wisdom save. Well, very well. You seem like a... What do you think, Lorne and Alberans? Should I let him borrow my blade?
Well, actually, I was
He's
hoping...
just gonna hand it to me.
Yeah, give it to Lorne and to use the hammer on it. And then watch the blade try to defend itself.
Well, why didn't you say so? He takes the blade out, flourishes it skillfully, but a little too artfully, and then hands it to you, hilt first. Lorden.
I'll take it, I'll slam it down on the table, and then I'll pull out the hammer and try and break it.
Okay, make an attack roll with the hammer. He says, I say, what are you about, man?
He just said, I'm going to give it to Lauren, and Lauren's going to break it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What I'm actually kind of hoping a little bit is that it turns into like its insectoid-looking legs and whatever, and he's like, whoa, I was carrying that.
Oh, it always does before it does.
All right, so here's what happens. A scene ensues where you damage it. It absolutely turns into an insectoid thing. Is, oh my gosh, man, stop that! And it jumps around a couple times, and one of his men actually spears it to the wall, which doesn't damage it enough, but it gives you time, Lornan, to slam into it. And then the guy looks and says, "Told you, boss. That their blade was bad news." Yes, I should have listened to you all along. I understand. We'll discuss this later.
What you need to do is pass word through your ranks that all of these blades should not be used. It'll infect your men just as easily as it would infect you.
Maya, how many of those blades did you say we recovered? And the mayor says, at least a dozen, spread out amongst the forces, most of the ones at night. You're saying we have to give up some of our most powerful weapons against the enemy?
You just saw what happened. That's not a weapon. It's not powerful. It's a weakness. You'll turn the blades on your own people before this is over.
They are weapons of the enemy, just insidious ones.
Might I be right in assuming that there's some sort of mental chicanery or hanky-panky going on with anyone that wields one of these black talons?
There is. They will be extremely hesitant to give the blade up. You must have felt it yourself.
Well, I must say, giving it over to Lornan, certainly. He winks at you. But, yes, in fact, I did. Maya, perhaps my men don't have any other of these. Perhaps we can figure out who has them and relieve each defender of them one at a time, so it doesn't become an incident. Mary says, all right, but what are they supposed to wield? Kitchenware? Well, we ransacked the sporting goods a while back. There's some things in there that'll kill invaders just as well as they will a target.
Yeah, I know you're in a tough spot, but your men would be better off fighting with their bare hands rather than using that.
Hey, you saw that monstrosity that just appeared out of nowhere, thanks to Lorne and Abron and his associate Dorn. I feel like my life and perhaps my even very soul was saved. I think we should listen to them. And Mayor kind of rolls his eyes a bit and says, as if we didn't have enough difficulties. All right. We'll see it done.
You're going to have a lot of trouble destroying them if you don't have an adamantine hammer.
Mayor says, well, we could probably rustle up some adamantine somewhere. There's multiple smithies in the upper city, after all. We'll have to look around.
We had a lot of success early on using blacksmith's tools to clamp them into place and then hammer it directly. Doing it by hand can be pretty tricky.
Saw. That's good to know. Hammering them in place. You see, her aides are like taking notes, and a couple aides look like absolutely petrified of what they just saw, of this crazy monstrosity of shadow and wires and black oil just like skittering all over her as you guys destroy it.
So yeah, about getting behind the enemy army. Got any mechanism to make that happen?
Nick says, geez, not that I can think of. I mean, we have we've dismantled and disabled all the locks. We could perhaps sneak you down most of the way down the cling, but that's dangerous. And in daytime you'll be seen, nighttime they'll be coming up. And then Lord Lukash says, actually, Lord Mayor, if you don't mind, I have a thought. Tell me, have any of you actually flown before?
I've been on an airship.
Not quite the same thing. How are you with heights?
Heights is okay. It's the falling that I'm more afraid of.
Oh, wise words, my follower of Walden, if I might be so bold.
You are correct.
One of the better ones, I think.
He helped us long ago, and I've followed in his path since.
Yes, I myself have been compelled to do some charity work amongst the poor as well, especially well, not quite so far out in the rugged wilderness of New Radiance, but I feel like stories do him justice. He did good work and continues to do so, and I'm sure you do too, my friend. But I have a
trying.
thought. Yeah. Well, we all are only doing the best we can at every time. I, for myself, am a bit of a fop, and far too privileged for my own good, but at least I can recognize it. The rest of my family and friends all fled for Cinderton when this all went down. No, I'm going to stay. And maybe I'll die, maybe I won't, but maybe I'll do some good. In the meantime, I'm going to raid the wine state. But that is neither here nor there. And the mayor says, get to the point, Lord Lukash. Yes, sorry. At any rate, before I had to cut my vacation short, there's this new bit of recreation that not many were brave enough to attempt, but you look like the sort that might be. You see, they take a large triangular wing and they strap you beneath it, and then when the air currents coming off of the falls are favorable, they push you off, and you just glide very peacefully, if daringly, over hundreds of feet of jungle, until you very gracefully land perhaps a mile or two away. The target area is cleared, but I could certainly see one landing somewhere in the depths of the Thunder Run jungle if so inclined.
This is my favorite plan so far, although I do think we'd be rather exposed in the air.
Not if you go at night. You see, the enemy can see in the dark, but not terribly far. Not more than, say, 60 to 100 feet or so, I would think. If you're 200 feet in the air, well, then you're... Just try not to make a silhouette against the moon.
So, that sword's going to cut both ways, though, because trying to pick somewhere to land at night is going to be difficult for us.
I say it will be, my good chap. I do not envy you in this task. And I would that I could go with you. Would that I could, he says, looking again at Mornin. But no, I have dedicated myself to the defense of this city which I've grown to love so much, and consider it a third home even. Perhaps even my second one, which I certainly love more than my second anyway. But I have hung beneath these gliders upon multiple occasions since they've introduced them a few seasons ago, and I am reasonably certain I could give you at least the basic instructions.
Are they safe? For
Of course, no, my good man, no. Now, I will say, during the daytime, when the instructors are nearby and one has Featherfall cast upon them, then yes, they're almost perfectly safe. At night, without the protective magics that would give you away, oh no, it's quite dangerous, I'm sure. But probably much more of a sure thing if your goal is not to engage the enemy, but to get behind their lines. Daring plan, if I do say so.
well, if this is the best and only option we have,
Well, you could always fight your way down the cling. I say that's probably more dangerous. Though you could at least take a few of them with you. I could say we would of course love to have you stay and be part of the defense, but that's the thing about a good defense is you only have to lose once. But I would be more than happy to show you how to strap yourselves in, as it were.
well, it certainly seems like this is the way.
The mayor says, We could also try reassembling the locks, though that way is incredibly slow and noticeable. You'd likely be sitting in a boat floating down the lock shaft, fighting off waves of enemies the entire time. And then when you get to the lagoon at the bottom, you'd be an easy target. Unfortunately for you, the same natural features that have helped us hold the city also created difficulty for your own mission.
Well, it's dangerous, but I think it's going to be less dangerous than fighting thousands of whatever's at the bottom of that cliff. I don't think we got much choice.
So it's settled then. When do we take off?
Well, it's only midday now. Perhaps we could have a bit of tea, and then I'll take you through the safety instructions. At least, best I can remember them. I didn't pay too much attention, but I'm sure I could get you strapped into them at least. Reasonably sure. And then we just have to wait for nightfall. Things should be relatively peaceful, and most of the forces we have are sleeping right now or watching the city. As I said, if they come during the day, they've discovered that our crossbows, well, not the best defense, are more than enough to pick them out of the cling. And they don't have enough flyers to reliably cross over the city, at least.
Alright, so I guess we rest up and go at nightfall.
Excellent. Perhaps, just a moment. Let's get a bit of a we get a service? A service? Anyone? We have a service? Tea service? And the mayor kind of rolls her eyes, and then one of his guards kind of sighs. You see a couple of guards do like a rock, paper, scissors, see whose turn it is to go get the tea. And one goes, excellent. My body man there will bring us some tea. In the meantime, Lauren and Alberon. Well, before all this nonsense began happening, where did you make your home? I wish to know everything. Frank, does Lauren say anything?
I come from the Sylvania of the Silver Veil now that my mic is no longer turned off.
Oh, there you go. Now, the Silver Veil, do tell me more. I've never been. It's very difficult as a human to score an invitation.
To the Summer Veil? It's full of humans.
Oh, I thought you said the Summervale. Okay, sorry, let me change that.
Yeah, Summer Veil.
Oh, okay.
It's just he doesn't call New Radiance New Radiance.
Right. The Summervale, where is that? I know I've visited any of the Mist Vales worth visiting that had anything there, any civilization of note. Where is the Summervale?
I look around for a little bit. Then I point south, east.
Is it anywhere near New Radiance?
In some ways, it's all around New Radiance.
Oh, I see.
Summer Vale is, well, it's the wooded valley that surrounds the main river that heads off into the eastern jungle.
And tell me, are there many elves in the Summer Vale?
Not as many as there once were.
Of course. Then are they all as handsome as you?
He kind of looks puzzled at that and thinks for a second. They come in
He
a great
smiles.
many appearances.
So clearly that'd
Oh.
be a no.
Well, the people of the Summer Vale favor the look of the courts of summer, so vibrant green, while not entirely common, is also not unheard of amongst those elves. There are also fiery red, sunshine yellow, some very rich browns. My best friend's hair is up.
Dorn's just gonna
Fascinating.
kind of cough and say, Lornan, he wasn't looking for a lengthy factual response. He's just flirting with you.
Let him continue, Inquisitor. I find it fascinating, truly. But I might also be flirting. He winks at you. Morning. All right, and then his guy brings out tea service. It's cold, but it's like sandwiches, and the bread at least seems to be fresh baked, and there's plenty of wine and water. And you guys get a good lunch. But then what he'll do is after that he'll take you guys to one of the other resorts, and along the cliffs they have what are basically hang gliders. It's made out of some sort of ultra light cotton weave and very light wood, so they look pretty fragile, and they're very light. Like even Tomlin and Braymond can easily lift them. But then they have harnesses that you put on. There's only a couple that are like child sized for Braymond and Tomlin.
Very cool.
I might need a bigger one. We got to carry Boomer too.
You know, I've never seen someone take a dog on one of these. I'm not confident I can guarantee his safety. I'll do my best though if he's some sort of familiar or a loyal companion. I mean, I respect that. I don't want to set unreasonable expectations. I was mildly drunk the few times I've done this before. Though I must say, we all landed safely.
Yeah. Didn't you also say someone was casting a little magic to help you reach the bottom?
That might have been the Featherfall. I don't quite remember. I think the whiskey had kicked in by then. But at any rate, I am absolutely confident that I can get you all safely strapped in and launched this evening. And after that, it's...
Is there someone to cast Featherfall?
No, sadly. Twid the door, sir. Alright, so he's going to show you how, and then wait for nightfall. In the meantime, he's absolutely going to say, so, Lornan, perhaps you'd care to take a rest. I have a room upstairs. It's quite well appointed, though. I dare not make promises as to the service, given that most of the servants have since fled the city.
Well, I wouldn't want to take your room. That seems very rude, especially since we didn't do much, and I'm not particularly tired.
Oh, you don't need to be tired. I thought we could share.
His brow furrows again.
Clearly, perhaps a bit more direct. I was wondering if you'd like to have intimate relations. No is a perfectly acceptable answer. I will be disappointed, but I will totally understand.
No, thank you.
Pity. All right. Perhaps a game of chess, then?
I'm not very good at dragon chess, but I'm willing to try to pass the time.
Perhaps I'll give you a lesson then. I promise not to be too harsh.
Get out the set we found.
Ornate dragon chess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's a player. These sets, I've only seen these on the most dedicated nobles of the game.
It was pilfered like many of the nicer things we carry.
Oh, I see you adventurers. How audacious. All right, and he will absolutely give up. He's still a little flirty, but he will absolutely try not to make you feel uncomfortable, and he will play chess with you guys until the evening. As you guys, while at a time, you guys can take a quick nap or whatever, but you see that as the sun begins to set over the jungles, you notice more and more people start arriving, talking to the mayor. You see people gearing up. A lot of the people here that you see are very clearly non-combatant. You know, some are definitely city guard, or like the mayor's personal guard, or Lord Lukash apparently has his personal guard are the largest group of humans you see. But then a lot of the people are just like stable hands, and cooks, and laundrests, and then all people like Brindler, who is a safari guide. People that offered various luxuries to rich people that now have been forced to take up arms in this. Of all the people here, maybe like Lord Lukash and maybe a couple of that really have like the kind of training anywhere close to it.
Yeah, before we go hang glide tonight, I'm going to use my magic loot and just send a sending back to New Radiance about basically the dire straits here. Like Thunder Run is like on the verge of falling. It's besieged.
You tell them about the ziggurats as well?
Yeah, that's the location that we've discovered. We're on our way trying to get there, but in case we don't make it, that's where they need to focus.
You get back a understood, proceed to ziggurats. We'll see what resources can be sent.
Yeah, I'd say like short reply, like even a couple of airdrop caches of like weapons and armor would probably go a long way.
Okay. We'll see what we can do. All right. In the meantime, Lord Lukash says, "Oh, well, it's about that time." He finishes his drink and starts stretching and gestures. And one of the guys brings over another sword, a very ornate kind of looks almost ceremonial, except the heft it has seems to be pretty functional. And says, "Are you sure that we can't persuade you to stay and man the battlements, as it were, for a shift or so? The fighting get quite intense."
I'm afraid not, but I don't think you need to worry that we won't fight several of them in the back lines. I'm sure they would make their way here eventually if we don't take care of them closer to the portal.
Yes, all due respect to logistics. You've seen the straits here. I can't help but put on a brave face, but of course I worry about my men and servants. Like the man who makes my tea, he is excellent. I hate to lose him, but
You're unfortunately swallowed up in necessary tactics right now. Our mission is to try and curb this power more long-term, a strategic maneuver.
yes, and as much as my heart rails against it, my head sees the wisdom in it. Tell me, Lord, you don't have any sort of older brother or perhaps a cousin, do you?
I am the last of the Alberon line.
How sad.
That is the lot of elves in these days. A path of sorrow stretching over years.
Well, if it makes you feel better, as soon as I survive this night, I will be journaling extensively on the emerald-haired elven lad that crossed my path this day. You will not be forgotten. All right, well, if we're going to go, I suppose we go now. So he'll take you guys back through the streets. You guys notice there's definitely more activity now. People are still kind of like keeping to the overhangs. You notice they're watching the skies just as much as they're watching the cliffs. And as you look down, you can see amongst the cling and the sprawls all sorts of different... you see multiple defenders kind of getting ready. And as you look out over the jungle, you can see several torches and even bonfires that are lit of the armies that are kind of sprawled out through the slums at the base of the waterfall, and then also out into the jungle. It's all right. Well, if you see that bit of water there gleaming, I would shoot for that. That'd be your softest landing, and should, as far as I can tell, get you past their forces, at least the front line. From there, the river heads north to Pyroclasm Peak, but at some point it must pass the ziggurat. The vale itself is not terribly wide.
All right, well, we appreciate your help, and good luck in your fight tonight.
May Talia got our sword arms. Walden nurture our lives, and may the Blue Lady bring us back to a well-needed drink at the end. All right. Well, I'm going to go polish my boots. No need to meet the enemy looking scruffy. Best be off then.
All right.
All right. So here's the deal. You guys all have the, and there's just enough if you guys steal almost all of the hang gliders for you guys to head out. Who is anyone riding?
Is anyone riding?
Because you better believe this is an athletics check.
Was there an important part in there that got cut out?
Oh, is there anyone riding in tandem?
I'm gonna need to ride in tandem. I got a -1 to athletics.
I'm gonna need to
I
ride.
can help my elf homie. Even if
Alright.
she...
Does Boomer count?
Yeah. Someone needs to take Boomer. Luckily, these things used to be set up for at least 2 people, so that there can be like an instructor and somebody else who's along for the ride.
So I guess I can take Tomlin.
Noise.
Yep, partner up.
All right, so you got Tomlin. Lornan's got Lyriel.
And before we go down there, I will give Lauren and I guess Branwen's going to be flying the other one. I'll give you both Bardic Inspirations.
Cool. So, Branwen, you are strapped there with your puppy dog. Yeah, this is a big thing.
Unfortunately, I can't give myself inspiration.
I can give you some words of encouragement. Don't kill us.
So does our partner give us a help action or no?
It can, yeah.
I'm not proficient in athletics.
I don't need it. There we go.
Alright, well I guess it's a straight roll then. Unless I use my human
Alright.
thing.
No.
All right, so Dorn, Lornan, and Branwyn make athletics checks as Lord Lukash will help you launch. Then you just literally jump off a cliff.
I think I'm going to use my
Well,
inspiration.
Dorn, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Go again here. That's better.
Okay. Dorn, you start plunging for a second until you manage to push it forward, and then you soar out over with a lurch to your stomach over the jungles. Lauren, with a 22, you immediately get the balance, the hang of it, just like Lord Lukash instructed. All right, Branwyn.
I'm gonna take a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have a little chat with Boomer. Let him know what's going on. Like, buddy, just hold still. Don't get too scared. We can do this. And I will do this. I will go with. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
All right.
And I'm gonna use my heroic inspiration. Come on.
You don't need to do that until you see your roll, right?
Okay. That's
Okay.
That's not bad. Plus, come on. Where's my D4? Okay. 19.
Okay. All right. You and Boomer are a little wobbly because Boomer panics for the first part, then kind of settles down for one. But after a while, basically, like if you get Boomer to shift his weight, it can help you steer. And so you're a little bit further behind the other two, but the 3 gliders are now sailing out. It helps you only have to go in a straight line, and there's definitely a bit of a thermal there's an updraft from the waterfall as you guys sail over the jungles and over the lower city, and as you leave Thunder Run behind. Looking back behind you, and it's dark, but this is what it would look like from the jungle side. As you soar out over the jungle and aim towards that small lagoon off in the distance past where most of the army is going to be. You do so late at night, so as long as you guys stay quiet, these things make almost no noise. They don't even clap or anything. But eventually you will come down towards the lagoon. All right, who's cool with landing in the water?
Yeah, good a place as any.
Probably much better than the trees. All right, everybody make one more athletics check. After several minutes, it's less than 5 minutes, but it feels like much longer as you guys are soaring down. Dorn, you land right on.
Remember,
Right, Dorn, you land right on the edge.
you got the bardic inspiration, Lauren. You need to get to 15.
Well, I will ask. I thought you had to do heroic inspiration up front. I didn't need it because it was because my first roll was better.
That's fine.
Can I save my heroic inspiration
Oh, yeah.
for this thing? Okay.
Absolutely.
Or could you just use your heroic inspiration roll that you had? With that
Yeah,
16?
heroic inspiration got changed. It's always a reroll now.
Yep.
It used to be something you have to call out. You're not crazy. It's
Okay.
just 2024 it changed to always be a
Yep.
reroll.
It's supposed to be a thing that like humans get though. Like I don't know, we tend to just always get it. So I don't know if it's really a good boon for humans.
No, you get it for like doing something cool or acting in character.
Yeah, but don't you start with one like at the beginning of every session? It seems like people do.
I think it's a human thing.
It's a human.
Thing.
Okay, that's still
All
pretty
right,
good.
Braylon, you're
I
good.
actually have a champion
See,
ability where I get it every turn.
All right.
19, doing pretty good.
All right, and then do one more thing for me, everybody. Got everybody that's flying over this army that's camped out in the jungles. Make a perception check as you fly over the enemy forces.
Okay.
Elf eyes, baby.
There you go. All right. Your dark vision only kicking because you're much higher up than that, but through the firelights you guys can see. Yeah, they weren't lying. The whole town seems, the lower city seems to be overrun, but also well out into the jungle. Down, see, fire just snaking away from like a mile away. You see mostly what looked like draconians, but you also see a lot of humans and other folk as well that seem to be camped out with them. With a 20, Lorna, you can also make out some. You see one character kind of slithering along. It looks like a giant snake for a moment, but then you realize the head and the front part of it are sitting upright. The front part of it is a muscular humanoid torso with 2 long humanoid arms.
Rookie mistake. Everybody knows it doesn't help to turn into a giant snake.
I know, right?
Never helped.
And you see a couple of guys that are clearly snake-like and less draconian. But with that, you guys all get wet as you plunge to the relatively warm waters of this lagoon that seems to be an offshoot of the river. But you all safely land in the dark at night in the jungle. You cut yourselves free of the straps without too much trouble. That no one's in fear of drowning at this point. And you make your way up to the shore in the dark. You're all soaking wet. Which doesn't help that also the jungle is super humid. You definitely, of all the mist veils, this is definitely the warmest one and the most humid, and it shows. So it also becomes incredibly difficult to finish dry. But we will go ahead and pause there as you guys embed yourselves deep in the jungles of the.
That was a fun little twister at the end to get down and out. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be